Hey, how you doing? Um, Harry's off tonight. You got me, Vinny. Louis is manning the store, if you will. So here we go, live from the Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios in Jackson, Michigan. This is Steve 40 Balls, and tonight we have a lot to make them sporty balls look good, especially if you're a baseball fan. Hockey, we've got it all as we come down to, as they say, Lord Stanley's coveted silver chalice. The road begins in just 8 days. Wow. Can the Red Wings catch up? We'll find out. All that, a whole lot more. We're not at 11 because that's no longer our heaven. This is. Here's the Baxman. All right, thank you very much, Louis, Vinny, everybody. Hey, welcome everybody. Gotta straighten up the logo there. Hey, welcome everybody to the big show, the big time, the big dance, big enchilada. It's 10 o'clock. We are here. Welcome to our little broadcast. Got a lot of news for you. Scores, obviously, some entertainment reports. But right now, hey, let's get to it, okay? Let's give you something that you can be proud of as we bring you latest sports headlines. And one of the latest sports headlines, we go north of the border. We got two stories north of the border. Let us give you one of them stories. And by the way, um, a little notation. There is breaking news. Taiwan has had a huge earthquake. We will, of course, watch your little TV networks and such for more details. But thank you. Of course, we have no word on injuries. There are tsunami warnings in effect for Taiwan. I think the U.S. Geological Association rated it a 7.4 on the scale. So when, of course, your news of news brings you updates, they'll be, of course, accurate. Right now, we got some big news coming from the world of hockey, and it is a stunner from the hockey news. The massive 12-year Canadian broadcasting rights deal that Rogers uh, Sports, no, Rogers Media and Sports signed with the NHL does not expire for another 2 years, but according to sports media insider Jonah Siegel, the cable giant is in talks to air Monday night games, including playoff games, for the next 2 seasons on Amazon. If so, it could provide a glimpse into what the next media rights deal could look like. Siegel wrote on his YYZ sports media site the implication, quote, the implication, evening, chairman, evening. The implications of such a move extend beyond the realm of sports. Amazon's interest in securing a foothold in the NHL broadcasting arena speaks volumes about the company's broader strategy. With deep ties to the NHL and a robust prime platform, Amazon is positioning itself to compete head to head with industry giants like Walmart and Loblaws, particularly in the fiercely competitive grocery sector. Rogers paid 5.2 billion in 2014-2015 for exclusive Canadian broadcast rights to NHL games, beating such esteemed people as well, the Elder States Network of Hockey in Canada, and that is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CTV, and TSN, the Canadian sports sister to our ESPN. In the years since then, the deal has grown increasingly worse due to cord cutting and a lack of playoff success from the Toronto Maple Leafs and other Canadian-based teams that the network served. By the way, part of that broadcast deal they signed, the 12-year deal, was they got the rights, the name, and everything else of CBC's legacy hockey program, Hockey Night in Canada. CBC is sub-licensing the longest-running sports broadcast, Canadian-wise, from folks at Rogers. That may be coming to an end. Hockey Night in Canada has been a staple on Saturday night TV in Canada and border cities for a long, long time, I think 63 years. In the second year of the deal, not a single Canadian team qualified for the playoffs. Since then, the Leafs reached the second round of the playoffs just once. Edmonton won a combined 4 rounds. The Montreal Canadiens are the only Canadian team to have reached the Stanley Cup final during this time, but their postseason success has not been sustainable. That the NHL might prioritize streaming services in its next deal makes sense. With 2 more years remaining in the agreement, it's looking less and less likely that Rogers will renew its contract, potentially creating an opportunity for TSN and or streaming services to step in and fill the void. Quote, Siegel, quote Mr. Siegel in the article, as anticipation builds for this year's playoffs, there is news brewing about the upcoming NHL season. Whispers in the sports world hint at a potential game-changing move, Amazon's potential takeover of the entire Monday night package from Rogers, wrote Siegel, end quote. While details remain scarce, the murmurs suggest that Rogers, burdened by the weight of the deal, may be looking to offload Monday night games to the Seattle-based tech giant. In 2021, the league signed a 7-year rights agreement worth a combined $625 million with Walt Disney Company and Turner Sports. Part of that agreement involves streaming up to 75 games per season on ESPN Plus, Hulu, as well as simulcasting select playoff games on HBO Max and some games on ABC. Siegel said, quote, the partnership of the world's top hockey league and the platforms of the Walt Disney Company is a big win for our fans and our game. Well, actually, it wasn't Siegel that said it. It was NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said at the time. Not only will this groundbreaking 7-year deal enable the NHL to benefit from the incomparable power, reach, and influence of the Disney Company, ABC and ESPN, and Turner Sports, TNT, TBS, it sets a new standard in delivering our game to the most passionate and tech-savvy fans in sports in the ways they now demand and on the platforms they use. So right now, it's now there are some reports that say that Rogers, among their various ownership of media, they also own the Toronto Blue Jays, and they want to get what the Dodgers have, and that's Shohei Ohtani. And they'll do anything to get him, including bowing out of a quote-unquote money hemorrhaging 12-year deal. So, wow. In fact, here's what the Toronto Sun folks said of it. Here's what some folks on Reddit said. Rogers has been losing money hand over fist on that NHL deal, so it makes sense. Imagine Shohei as a Blue Jay. Stay tuned. This story may be picking up legs. And I agree with you, Chairman. I think I do need to change battery in the smoke detector. We Shall find out. Yes. All right, let's keep going, boys and girls, cats, kittens, frogs, hogs, and everyone else. We got a lot of sports to talk about, some entertainment news, and we're already 11 minutes into the broadcast. Yahoo! All righty, let's get with it here. In baseball, the Oakland Athletics, and wow, they're well, I got to give their fans credit. They're really letting them know that they suck. 5 games into the new season, the Oakland Athletics are 1-4, and they looked even worse than that record would lead you to believe. They've committed 13 errors, 6 more than any other team, and they've allowed 11 stolen bases, 2 more than any other team. At the ownership level, the A's have no interest in fielding a competitive team, and it shows. Prior to Monday's loss to the Boston Red Sox, 9-0, the Athletics somewhat surprisingly optioned outfielder Esteury Ruiz to AAA to clear a roster spot for waiver claim Tyler Nevin. Ruiz was the centerpiece in last offseason's Sean Murphy trade, and he was off to a hot start this season, going 3 for 7 with a double and a triple. He also led the American League with 63 steals in 2023. David Forst, the A's general manager, said about the decision to demote Ruiz, quote, "We talked about Etsy a couple of times during the spring, where he fits in the lineup on this team and the importance of him playing every day, seeing him through the first 4 games. That wasn't going to happen here. Cutting down on strikeouts and getting on base are things that we talked to him about all last season. He did make some good adjustments in the spring. We saw an improvement in his exit velocity and some better at-bats. But the reality is, to use his skills, he needs to get on base. He needs to be able to do that on a consistent basis. I'm hoping with him leading off every day in AAA, it's not a long stay for him to sit down there." The 25-year-old Ruiz did not have an especially strong 23 season, despite the gaudy stolen base total. He authored a .254, .309, and .345 batting line that was 12% below the average once adjusted for ballpark. Also, despite his speed, Ruiz rated poorly in the outfield, registering minus 13 defensive runs saved. According to Baseball Reference's calculations, he was a minus 0.1 WAR player in 23. Truth be told, Ruiz was not a lock to make the opening day roster this season. Miguel Andujar hurt his knee in spring training and needed surgery, which opened a roster spot for Ruiz. It wasn't until claiming Nevin that the A's had a valuable alternative for that roster spot. The hot start to 24 is nice, but ultimately sending Ruiz to AAA for further development is not outlandish. They acquired Ruiz from the Milwaukee Brewers as the headliner in the 3-team Murphy trade with the Atlanta Braves, and to date, that trade has been a complete dud for the A's. They received 5 players in the deal. And here you go. Ruiz, demoted to AAA. Kyle Mueller, left-handed pitcher, 6.99 ERA in 85 innings with the Athletics. Right-handed pitcher Freddie Tarnock, sidelined with a hip injury. Catcher Manny Pena, limited to 4 games with A's by injuries. And right-handed pitcher Royber Salinas, the number 14 prospect per MLB.com. Now, in addition to Murphy, the Athletics also gave up righty Joel Payamps in that trade, and Payamps emerged as one of the game's top relievers with the Milwaukee Brewers in 23. He threw 70 2/3 innings with 77 strikeouts and a .255 ERA, and is a trusted late-inning arm. Murphy is an all-star at the game's most demanding position. For him and Payamps, the A's didn't get much at all. This, unfortunately, is nothing new. The Matt Champion and Matt Olson trades didn't net the A's any significant pieces. There's still a chance catcher Shea Langeliers, Olson trade, can develop into a mainstay, and their farm system ranks as one of the worst in the game despite the fire sale. MLB.com ranks the system 25th in baseball. Baseball America ranks them 25th as well. After all their trades, the Athletics should have more young talent than they do. It's bad enough owner John Fisher has completely abdicated his responsibilities as a steward of an MLB franchise, but the front office has also whiffed on far too many trades. Perhaps Ruiz returns as a better player on the other side of the demotion. Right now, this looks like another mess that cannot be cleaned up. Ah, yes, I remember it well. Ooh-wah. Okay, trying to find a story that we had the top part in. Oh, yeah, there it is. Got some things from the NFL. Let's give them to you. I'm going to sneeze. Chase Claypool was born in Canada. Now the former Chicago Bear and Pittsburgh Steeler wide receiver has a clear path to resuming his professional football career across the border. Almost a month after hitting the 2024 NFL free agency, Claypool has been added to an exclusive negotiating list by the CFL's Saskatchewan Roughriders, according to 3 Down Nation. The move doesn't necessarily mean Claypool is headed for a new league after just 4 seasons in the NFL, but it does give the Rough Riders the exclusive ability to negotiate a contract with the former second-round draft pick in the event he's interested. The 25-year-old most recently played for the Miami Dolphins, who acquired him via a trade last October, but he's seen his stock take a big dip in successive seasons. Originally drafted number 49 overall by the Steelers out of Notre Dame, he topped 850 yards and 9 touchdowns as a rookie, only to be traded halfway through his 3rd season after joining the Bears in exchange for a second-round pick. Claypool logged just 18 catches in 10 games over 1.5 seasons before his benching and predictable trade. What's next for the 6'4" wideout who caught another 4 passes in his short-lived stint with the Dolphins? The British Columbia native hasn't appeared to draw much interest around the NFL since free agency began. Now, he would be eligible for a CFL offer, seeing as he officially became a free agent in March. CFL teams are permitted to name up to 45 players to a negotiating list, but those players cannot receive a contract offer unless they are no longer under contract with another team or league. If an offer is made but rejected, according to CFLDB, the players are removed from said CFL team's negotiating list 1 year from the offer date. Wahoo! Okay, it's 18 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. Now let's give you a little bit of the NCAA Women's Final Four. We're getting you everything, folks. Well, we can't give you the preview because the preview is on stream, and we risk being zapped by the funny copyright thing. Let's see. In other NFL news, for the first time in nearly 30 years, the Denver Broncos are getting set to make a dramatic change to their uniforms. The Broncos announced on social media that they will be wearing a new look for the 24 season. The Broncos uniforms haven't undergone any major changes since 97 when they unveiled their current look. In the 27 years since then, the Broncos have made a few slight changes. They released a Color Rush jersey in 2016. They unveiled a white helmet in 2023, but their main uniforms have stayed mostly intact. The Broncos also switched from a blue home jersey to an orange home jersey prior to the 2012 season, but that didn't involve a total redesign of the uniforms. This one will. Now, here's what you need to know. There is a total redesign coming. Broncos team president Damani Leach revealed on Monday that the uniforms will be a full redesign. However, he did add that not everything will be changing. The team will be keeping the same colors and same logo in place. Number 2, Leach hints at what the redesign might look like. Part of the process was talking about what's important for the Broncos, what's important for their fans. wanting to evolve and be new and different, but also be respectful of our history and our traditions. Understanding our surroundings from a geographic standpoint, there will be nods to that, and I think people will be really excited about it, end quote. Now, when the Broncos unveiled their white helmets last year, the color was a nod to the snow-capped Rocky Mountains, and it wouldn't be surprising to see the Broncos fully embrace that theme once again. As Leach notes, the team wanted to make a uniform that shows that the Broncos understand our surroundings from a geographic standpoint. Someone actually made a mock-up of what a Rocky Mountain uniform might look like, and it's not bad. The mock-up shows the mountains on the sleeves of the jersey, which would be pretty cool if the Broncos go with that thought. Now, the Broncos will be unveiling their new unis on April 22nd, which is 3 days before the start of the 2024 NFL Draft in Damota City. The reason teams generally shoot for the draft as a target release date is so they can show off their new look during the NFL's biggest offseason event. The Broncos are one of at least 3 teams who are expected to unveil new unis this year. The Texans already leaked their new road unis, and the Jets previously announced that they would be releasing new unis in April. The Lions will be also unveiling new unis on April 18th. Can't wait to find out what those are going to be like. Okay, folks, 10:22. We haven't had a little momentary brochet, a little momentary break. But we got more news for you. We're going to bring it to you. Let's see here. We can... In the NBA, our NBA top story is the in-season tournament. Now, nearly 4 months ago, the LA Lakers won the NBA's inaugural in-season tournament. In the 13 games that followed their championship victory over the Pacers, the Lakers went 3-10. LeBron James linked those struggles to the extra energy they had to exert to earn their crown. Have you seen Indiana's record since Vegas? James grumbled after a December 18th loss to the New York Knicks. Now the Lakers find themselves in a rather unique situation. As we report here, their 42-33 record has them in 9th place in the Western Division. Getting up to the number 8 seed in the next 2 weeks will be incredibly meaningful. That's the difference between needing to win 1 play-in tournament game or 2 in order to reach the playoffs. Sitting 1 spot above them at number 8 are the 43-31 Sacramento Kings, who are trending down after losing Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter to injuries. The Lakers have the NBA's 7th easiest remaining schedule. The Kings have the 4th hardest. There is a very real chance the Lakers close that 1.5 game gap in the standings between now and April 14th. Of course, just closing that gap would do the Lakers little good. The Kings have the head-to-head tiebreaker. Okay, thank you. Nope, we didn't need that. Let's go back to the story that we were doing. Thank you. Control room. Learn. Though, let's see. But here's the rub. Technically, it should even be possible for Lakers and Kings to tie in the standings. Hey, Deborah. They won't end the season having played in the same number of games. The Lakers, having won the in-season tournament, will play 83 games between opening night and the end of the regular season. The Kings, like most teams, will play only 82. The Lakers will get no credit for that extra win over the Pacers in the tournament championship, but all of those losses that followed, they all count in the sense the in-season tournament's winner may also be its biggest loser. Though not every team carries such direct grievance, the in-season tournament suddenly looms larger than ever, thanks to this season's remarkably condensed standings. Virtually every seed, save the number 1 in the Eastern Conference, is still up for grabs. Basically, nobody outside of Boston is locked into a specific seed yet. Playoff placement is going to come down to a game here, a game there, a tiebreaker that may not even be set yet. What does this have to do with the in-season tournament? Well, teams weren't issued complete schedules this season. 2 blank slots were built into the schedule to accommodate for possible in-season tournament outcomes. Teams that advanced to the knockout state would play their 81st and 82nd and possibly an uncounted 83rd game there. But teams that didn't need 2 more typical regular season games scheduled, opponents for these games were based at least partially on in-season tournament performance. Well, let's just say it's a little bit of a mess. Now, just say it boldly and bluntly, the Lakers have to win out to be in the playoffs, or their fate will be determined in the play-in game, sort of like college basketball. So please just stay with us, or stay with all of us here as we constantly try to give you the complete sports report. We're about 4 minutes away from halftime, and we got some scores for you. We're going to give them to you. We got about 4 games still going in the third quarter. 8:29 left to play. Spurs lead the Nuggets 64-63. 8:56 left to play in the third quarter. Cavaliers lead the Jazz 71-56. Just beginning with about 5:08 left in the first. Clippers lead the Kings 14-9. And with less than 3:12 remaining, Mavericks lead the Warriors 22-20. Final scores: Wizards over the Bucks 117-113. Lakers over the Raptors 128-111. 76ers over the Thunder 109-105. Heat over the Knicks 109-99. Timberwolves over the Rockets by a score of 113-106. In baseball, in the top of the ninth, Astros about to lay claim to another victory over the Blue Jays, 1-0. Bottom of the third, Diamondbacks lead the Yankees, 3-0. Also in the third, Red Sox over the Athletics, 3-2. By the way, do we have a attendance figure for that game yet? Let's see. Do we have any attendance? Not yet. Okay. Thank you. Top of the fourth, Guardians and Mariners scoreless. Mid-fourth, Cardinals and Padres tied at 1. End of 1, Dodgers over the Giants 1-0. More final scores: Brewers over the Twins 3-2. Royals over the Orioles 4-1. Phillies over the Reds 9-4. Angels over the Marlins 3-1. Rays over the Rangers 5-2. White Sox over the Braves 3-2. Cubs blasted over the Rockies 12-2, and the Tigers and Mets were rained out. In the NHL, 2:42 left to play in regulation. Minnesota Wild over the Ottawa Senators 3-2. 4:17 left in regulation. Bruins over the Predators 1-0. 6:24 left to play in the second. Flames over the Ducks 2-1. 6:16 left to play in the first. It is Golden Knights over the Canucks 3-1. Sabres beat the Capitals 6-2. Les Canadiens de Montreal, they defeated the Panthers 5-3. Penguins over the Devils 6-3, and the Islanders chomped on some Blackhawks 2-1. In soccer news, Nottingham Forest beat Fulham 3-1. Newcastle United and Everton ended in a 1-1 tie in the Premier League. Burnley and Wolverhampton also tied at 1. Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. Bournemouth defeated Crystal Palace 1-0. And West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur ended in a 1-1 tie. In Coppa Italia, Juventus defeated Lazio 2-0. We will have more scores for you in a moment. We are at the half. So how y'all doing? How's everything? I don't have a car yet. I'm not going to be getting a car for a while because Well, it's going to take a while for everything to settle and be settled. Me and my friend have to go and rescue some stuff, if necessary, from the trunk and the floor of the car. I got to take some pictures and present them to my insurance agent. I got to get a copy of the police report so I can give it to the my insurance agent and possible lawyer. We're trying our best, folks. We are. We are trying our best here. I got my new laptop already fixed up, so it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Yeah, screw this here. There we go. Come on. There we go. It's a mess. I love it. Love it being messed up. Tomorrow's going to be a rather unusual day. I've got to make some calls, got to get some tax papers. Oh, boy. And I'm just hoping everything goes right. Because you see, when I just want to say one thing. I know this isn't sports, but I just want to say something as myself. We all have our barriers. I have been in my life smothered, overprotected by my mom, and I'm not complaining. I really did, as my cousin Brenda said Sunday, I really missed a whole life. And when I told her where we went, when I still had my Ford Fusion 2007, we went to Pennsylvania, we went to New York, and it was fun. It was fun to get out of Michigan for a while, even if it was for a day or two, in the case of New York. But Brendan said it best. I finally got a chance to live a life, to live my life. And I think that's what's been missing, is living my life. I mean, granted, you had to take a few falls before you can really enjoy a life. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, before it's too late, I think everyone should take that chance and just live. Live your dream. Live your life. Live the way you want to live, not what somebody else has planned. I mean, look at me. I'm almost 60 years old, and I got my first apartment, got my first car. I traveled. I still got places to go, but I'm going to have to wait on those until I get a car. And getting a car like I did was lucky, because there are very few garage sales that actually do include a car. And the original price on the car was $700. But we talked her down to $500, and it served me well. It could have served me more, but unfortunately, a tow truck T-boned us. So now it's going to serve a bit more. So, in conclusion, to everybody who has always wanted to live a life, to get out and do what you want, it's simple. Go out there, get as much as you can, and just enjoy your life. Enjoy the dreams. Don't let anyone poo poo them. Don't let anyone discourage you. Get out there and enjoy. And that is the Baxman speaking. I kind of like that. Little morality for our times. Yeah, that's messed up. A tow truck T-boned us. Yep, that is messed up. Almighty Chairman. But we got more scores for you. We got more stuff. We got some entertainment news for you. And I might try to sing a little karaoke. Might being the alterative word. But right now, let's get you some more scores before we do anything. It's about 36 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock. This is night 2 of our new time because I have been sleeping literally on the air when we used to be on at 11:35. Now, the reason I call myself chairman is because I'm in a wheelchair because I have a disability called spina bifida. Well, I do respect you. And I say the chairman in reverence and respect. From birth. I understand you. And I do call you the chairman when I say that. I do so out of respect and friendship. Because you truly are a unique individual, and I'm glad you're here as part of our show. Please tell your friends that there's a sports show that's a little weird, a little insane, and it's starting to get that way. Yeah, Deborah was, that's my cousin, by the way, Deborah. I got a lot of cousins. She was the only one not wearing a seatbelt. Anyway, let's get back to some joy, some rapture. A little basketball for you. I know we did the NBA, but there's a lot of basketball out there in the world. Let's do something with it, okay? Like, for example, we have not, I mean, I know we've given some out of this world scores. How about this? The CBA, the Chinese Basketball Association. Beijing Royal Fighters against the Jilin Northeast Tigers, 125-109. Beijing wins. Guangzhou beat Fujian 103-88. Nanying defeated, oh, I love this name. I got to say this name. The Nanjing Monkey King. I just posted you on my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I salute you. Thank you. Okay, let's the Guangdong Southern Tigers beat the Nanjing Monkey King 110-93. The Circle of Life. Sorry. That was from The Lion King. Ningbo Rockets lost to the Liaoning Flying Leopards. Who knew leopards could fly? 116-102. Qingdao Eagles over Shandong, 119-102. Shanxi Loons, that's Looggs, Loons, beat up the Beijing Ducks. I guess you could say the Beijing Ducks did not play where I guess you could say that loss was not all it was quacked up to be. Final score 102-94. Zhejiang Golden Bulls defeated the Zhejiang Lions 93-81, and the Yingjiang Flying Tigers defeated the Tianjin Pioneers 121-103. I can't wait for the WNBA to start. Oh, wow. This is crazy, but hey, the National Invitational Tournament started. Indiana State Sycamores beat the Utah Utes. What's a Ute? For those of you that love my brother Vinny, that was one of the best lines in the film. Fred Gwynn played the judge and said, "Excuse me, what's a Ute?" And another game coming up: Seton Hall Pirates, Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, that's it for the basketball. Let's do some hockey action. Yes, hockey, because there's a lot going on in hockey. And we're on a Tuesday. In the OHL playoffs, Canada, Oshawa beat Barrie 5-1. Kitchener beat Erie 4-3. And Ottawa defeated Brantford 5-2. And now for the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League playoffs. Acadie Bathurst defeated Halifax 7-2. Baie-Comeau defeated Charlottetown 5-3. Drummondville over St. John 4-2. Blainville Bois Blanc defeated Sherbrooke 4-3. Gastineau defeated Rouyn-Noranda 5-2. Rimouski lost to Cape Breton 3-1. Victoriaville, or for those of you who remember a film starring Julie Andrews, Victoriaville beat up Shawinigan 3-0. And Chicoutimi defeated Moncton 4-2. The WHL playoff. We got everything is continuing right now, so let's give you an update. Swift Current leads Lethbridge 5-2. Saskatoon leads Prince Albert 3-2. Red Deer over Medicine Hat 3-2. Kelowna leads Wenatchee 2-1. Spokane and Prince George tied at 1. And Portland over Victoria after one period of play 2-1. How about the AHL? Well, I got you the AHL right now, as a matter of fact. Can we get to the AHL? Come on, boys. Thank you. Utica over Bridgeport 4-1. Hershey Bears over Lehigh Valley 1-0. Penalty shots. Oh boy. Rockford and Milwaukee are tied at 1. They're going to penalty shots. And Texas defeated Colorado 5-3. And just starting, Abbotsford leads Manitoba after 1 period 3-2. Ain't that a kick in the brains? That's right. Okay. You know what I miss? I got to find the on our lovely little home here at YouTube. They used to air Australian baseball. I think they still do sometime. But they also did some baseball from some Japanese and some Japanese baseball. They also had a lot of basketball, and I mean a lot of basketball. And they had some great action there, and I gotta hope that they keep doing it because it is great to see very different sports on platforms such as YouTube. It makes things interesting in the world. Okay, let's get you some headlines from another different world, the entertainment world. Yes, it's entertainment. It's entertainment, it's sports, it's this program. Let's see here what we got. Yes. Bronny James, the son of Los Angeles Laker LeBron James, will leave USC and enter the NCAA transfer portal. Portal. According to a report Tuesday by New York Daily News sports writer Dick Weiss, the younger James averaged 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds per game for the Trojans. He was truly a Trojan man. That's what you call a condom joke. Anyway, he was a freshman this season. The 6'4" guard missed the first 8 games of this season after suffering a heart-related incident. I know about those. They're not good. During the summer workouts, but averaged 19.4 minutes in the 25 games he did play. James's apparent decision to leave USC comes after Trojans coach Andy Einfeld jumped to SMU, which will join the ACC next season. Current Arkansas coach Eric Musselman is reportedly among those interviewing for the USC opening. A McDonald All-American at Sierra Canyon High School in LA, Bronny James was rated number 19 overall in the 2023 class by ESPN.com. There have been rumors since his high school days he would jump to the NBA after his freshman season so that he could play alongside his father, who is now 39 and playing in his 21st. Hey, good night, Chairman. We'll hope you come back tomorrow for more fun, more frolics, and anything else we can think of. We're slowly getting back what we once were. That's what I'm trying to say. That seems less likely after he hardly dominated on the college level. Where the 19-year-old James might head to next is unclear. Oregon and Ohio State, his father's childhood favorite team, were his other 2 finalists when he signed with USC in May 2023. So Ohio State may have just said, enough. By the way, Tigers Mets rescheduled for Thursday afternoon. So that is fun, isn't it? Yes, it is fun. I know what we were going to do. Let me see if I can do ratings for. Hello, let's try that again. Ratings for the first week of the UFL. Okay, the final average for the UFL week 1. Whoops, we can't have the voice. The final average for the UFL week 1 was 1.048 million viewers per game. This, however, does not include the streaming services such as ESPN+. That is a very good number for spring football. Both the XFL and USFL averaged around 600,000 viewers, give or take, for their 2023 season. Now, here is the big breakdown. Let's think here. What we got here? Yeah, we can talk about this. USFL kicked off the weekend and gave spring football fans a slate of entertaining games. Let's give you the week 1 ratings. Arlington versus Birmingham on Fox got a 1.18 mil viewership. Michigan versus St. Louis got 1.349 million, also on Fox. San Antonio versus DC, 960,000 on ESPN. Houston and Memphis, 703,000 on ESPN. Across the board, it was solid outings for the UFL, who had some competition in this little thing called March Madness. That's right. And that was mighty interesting. Very impressive first week. If the UFL can continue to build upon these performances, it is safe to say the executives should be pleased with these ratings. It was Easter weekend, of course. The league was dealing with March Madness, the opening week of baseball, and of course, it was Easter. Even the rabbit had fun, and they still managed to impress. Now, next week, 2 games are on cable, ESPN, with 2 matchups on the over-the-air networks, Fox and ABC. What are those 2 games? What are those games for week number 2? Okay, let's see what they got for week number 2, shall we? And I love doing this with our vocal here. Let's see. Come, they told me, ba-rum-pa-bum-bum. I just hit my thumb. Okay. UFL week 2. Okay, let's get to week number 2. Not the finals. Let's just get to week number 2. Okay. Okay. Let's see who's. Why don't I just do this? Oh, I know what to do. UFL website. We got time. Thank you. Okay, here's the schedule for those of you that are interested in the nice little schedule blurs that we got here. Week number 2, the full schedule looks like this. The San Antonio Brahmas take on the Memphis Showboats Saturday, April 6th at noon Eastern on ESPN. Arlington Renegades take on the St. Louis Battlehawks at 8 p.m. That'll be on ABC, live from St. Louis, the Dome at America Center. Sunday, April 7th, the Birmingham Stallions take on the undefeated Michigan Panthers, live from Ford Field in Detroit. That'll be on ESPN at noon. Then 4 o'clock on Sunday, Houston Roughnecks taking on the DC Defenders from Audi Field on Fox. Now, here's some very big news as well. Since Michigan won the national title, they're going to be playing their home games at a different stadium. They're going to be playing their home games at Ford Field, downtown Detroit. Why? Here's the reason why. Michigan Stadium is about to be redesigned to exceed, because the last redesign gave them about 100 to 115 fans to accommodate 100 to 115 fans. This new what's the word I'm trying to think of? This new renewal of the old Grand Football Stadium is going to seat over 120 to possibly 130,000 fans. That national title has got to be worth a lot, and it is, to give Michigan a stadium a redo to add more seats for the fans that they're going to have. It is incredible. Okay. Entertainment news. I just said it. Entertainment news. Thank you. Okay, let's get you some entertainment news before we say our good nights. Not doing karaoke tonight. Okay, let's get you a little news update, my friends, ladies and germs. Let's go to it. Fox spoke with ET's Rachel Smith. He got a standing ovation when he received at the 24 BAFTA Awards. The actor, activist, and philanthropist sat down with Rachel Smith ahead of this year's A Country Thing Happened on the Way to Cure Parkinson's, a musical charity gala benefiting the Michael J. Fox Foundation, held on Tuesday at the Fisher Center for Performing Arts in Nashville. It's still really surprising, Fox said, the huge outpouring of love and support he was met with when he made a special surprise appearance at the ceremony held at the Royal Festival Hall in London, where he presented the final award of the night for Best Film. He loved it, appreciated it, but he takes it more as a recognition of determination and resolve to solve the big problem, and that we all have the power to do whatever it is we can do to move things along. And everybody, he is the best. He feels he serves as a beacon and a symbol for optimism, something expressed through his tireless efforts to combat the dreaded disease of Parkinson's. And I could not agree more. He is a fighter. He's going to keep fighting. He has challenges, and he is going to succeed in beating those challenges. I applaud him. Nick Cannon's comments about Diddy and Cassie resurface after raids of Diddy's home. Ariana Madix threatens to call 911 during the fight with Tom Sandoval. Chance Paradomo's co-star Kiernan Shipka reacts to the actor's passing. And Megan Fox, Machine Gun Kelly are still taking space, but still together. That's your entertainment. Oh, one more piece of entertainment news. For comedians and for comedy people like yours truly, today we lost a good one. Do you all remember the Canadian TV series SCTV? It was about a fictitious television network in the city of Melonville. It had great characters like Lola Heatherton, Earl Cannemare, Floyd Robertson, Count Floyd, and Johnny LaRue, among others. The talented cast of that show, you can name them like this: Dave Thomas, Joe Flaherty, Catherine O'Hara, Andrea Martin, John Candy, Rick Moranis. List goes on and on. Second City TV was an awesome show. It was, of course, based out of Canada. It first set sail on the Global Television Network, then was bought by a network that we never thought knew about humor, the CBC. It also signed a deal to do a 90-minute version for NBC. While that was a success, NBC canceled it after about 3 seasons. Then they went to Cinemax, and as they say, the rest is history. And SCTV, Second City Television, do we have time, guys? Nope, we don't have time. But Joe Flaherty passed away of an illness, and he is going to be missed by all. Check my Facebook page. I posted up a very nice little poetic remembrance of this great comic actor who, along with others, brought comedy to life around the world. And he will never be forgotten. He will always be remembered. That's it for us here on Steve Sporty Balls. We thank you for watching. And until we see you all again tomorrow with more comedy, more sports, and more action to make a body feel good and make your balls feel strong. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. We'll see you tomorrow night, 10 o'clock p.m. till 11. Right now, it's time for your local news. We're out of here. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. Good night. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Network. Producers were Matthew Nichols, the Wizard, Jay the Brain Man, the Brain, and some guy named Steve the Baxman Baxley. Thank you all for watching. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. It's going to be fun.